I want you to think for a second about a friend. You've known this friend since you were 5, and every single day you've known him, your friend only grew closer to you, being honest and kind, warm-hearted, and never turning on you. If he ever made a promise, he'd keep it. If he ever borrowed money from you, he'd return it as soon as he could, and nobody ever bothered you so long as he was around. He accepted you the way you are. What a true friend. Imagine how easy it would be for someone like that to abuse your trust. How easy it would be for them to manipulate you and tear you down, to lie straight to your face as you continued on caring for them and thinking they felt the same. This, my friends, as dreadful as it sounds, is the gaming industry. Most all of us have been gaming all our lives. It's a huge hobby and a main part of our day-to-day. We love our video games, and we like to think that in some way or another, they love us back, be it our favorite game developer, or company. Some of us may indeed feel a connection to them, and though this connection is illogical and hurtful, we can understand the feeling. The problem is, as we give more and more love to this industry, the love we get back gets really dry, fake, and uncaring. And the question is, why? When it comes down to it, we've seen many times all of the companies we know and love making games that truly are very good. Why is it that every so often there's a slump in time where games start to suck? Come out broken, full of microtransactions and pre-order schemes, DLC that changes the game in an unfair way. Why do these companies take advantage so much? Well, there are many answers. Firstly, because as I stated before in my friend analogy, a lot of us have had this friend for a very long time. They've earned our love, our devotion, our trust, and our loyalties. Of course, everyone is different, but there are quite a few people out there who would stay in an abusive relationship because, he was so nice to me at one point and I can change him back. In reality, this friend of ours isn't the greatest guy. All he truly wants is money, and though he can do well to pretend he does care, your hard-earned cash really is the only thing keeping him around. But he's only one part of this industry. Granted, he, the video game, is the biggest part. He does have accomplices. A few I stated before are microtransactions and pre-orders, but there are more. Corrupt game journalism is a huge one. Let's go back to the analogy with your friend. Keep in mind your friend is the video games, the console, or PC. He's your hobby in general. Do you ever remember sitting down and looking at gaming magazines as a kid? Seeing the newest game flashed up on a page all to itself. It told you all about the game, what it had to offer, and how much it would cost. There really wasn't a ton of info hidden away. Game journalism becomes bigger and still you trust reviews. You could trust the opinions and you relied on these people to let you know if the game was worth the price. But as time went by, every game became the same number. 9 out of 10. Every game was a 9.5. Every game was Game of the Year. All of a sudden, every single video game was the greatest video game ever, but when you played it, it really wasn't all that good. The saddest part about this entire story is that it's all about betraying you for money. Never in this story are you the hero, but the sad soul who did nothing but trust, love, and remain loyal, and all the way through, you were stomped on. I know it sounds tragic, but if you want a happy story, you're gonna have to go back to Disney books. Let's continue, for there is but one more enemy we have to face. Game journalism is bad enough, but fine. You realize the charade and you tune it out. No longer will you be swayed by their lies and misinformation. You make your own decisions. You'll buy the game or ask others what they think, and get an unbiased answer. But you forgot one thing. There are many out there just like you, also growing up with that friend who would never do them wrong. I ask you, imagine your favorite video game. Imagine someone comes to you and tells you that they did not enjoy that game you love so much. They tell you it was awful and the worst game that they've ever played. What's your first thought? What's your first reaction? I'll bet you that it's to defend the game. Tell them that they're fools for believing what they do, and they aren't real gamers. You may even go online and type mean comments in forums and threads built up against the games you love, and though forums hating on games are quite dumb, and yes, they do exist, hating others for disliking a video game, hating people over something that does not affect you in the slightest makes you your own worst enemy. If you've ever caught yourself in this situation, then that malevolent friend we talked about before was you. This story is sad, it's dreadful, and though many do fight against this corruption in the gaming industry, the battle's weak. There are too many fanboys, too many so loyal that they're blinded to the fact that this industry doesn't care. But you can be smarter. You never have to stop loving your friend and keeping him at your side, but learn to keep your enemies just as close. Everything has its pitfalls, and though some things we truly do care about we see perfect in our eyes, we need to remember that some things only exist to make money, and that you have more control than you might think. Companies can take advantage of you and absorb your hard-earned cash, or they can fear you, and you can decide what you want from them. The choice is yours, my friends.